This is a tutorial to make this one shoulder top and this long slit skirt. Although it looks difficult to recreate, it is quite simple and can be finished in a few hours. The slit in the skirt makes it stand out and gives it a very elegant touch. It is the perfect outfit to wear to a dinner party or special event. As I explained before, the clothes I made are a one-shoulder top and a skirt with a slit on the right leg. To recreate it, you only need 2 meters of stretch fabric in the color of your choice and half a meter of lining. Although this is optional since you can use the main fabric. But I like to use a lining of a softer fabric such as cotton, for example. Besides the thread and the sewing machine, I recommend using a twin needle for the hem of the top and the skirt, as it leaves a much more professional finish than with a zigzag stitch. And I also recommend an overlocker, as it will make it so much easier for you to make the clothes. So first you have to print the pattern at 100% scale. On the first page you will find a scale in centimeters and inches to check if the sheets have been printed correctly. If everything is alright, position all the sheets in the correct order, without overlapping the sheets of paper. You will find all the details about this in the pattern manuals. And then tape them together. Once this is done, cut the pattern by the corresponding size. Don't forget to take a look at the size chart before cutting out the pattern, to make sure you chose the correct size. In any case, you have to keep in mind that the sizes are general, and in many cases the standard sizes don't always match the exact body measurements. So, if you're between 2 sizes and you're making the garment with stretch fabric, I recommend choosing a smaller size, and when it is a non-stretch fabric, a larger size. I've added 4 different lengths, so you have more options to choose from. The only pattern that needs to be cut out by folding the fabric is the back of the skirt, as it has to be symmetrical on both sides. The rest of the patterns have to be cut out without folding the fabric. 1 time each front side and 2 times the main fabric of the top and the lining of the top. First, I'm going to show you how to make the top. Place the lining and the main fabric together and pin the neckline until you reach the top of the shoulder strap. Do this with both sides. And overlock this part without cutting the fabric. You know that if you don't have an overlocker, you can also sew it with a zigzag stitch. Once this is done, open the fabric and place the other part on top, right sides together. Place pins on the strap and insert it. This is how the finished strap should look. Now sew the lining with a straight stitch about 3 mm from the main fabric. This is how the result should look. Fold the fabric right sides together so that the lining and the main fabric are together, and overlock the other side of the shoulder strap. Now that you've serged the front and back part together on both sides, turn the fabric inside out. This will leave the serged seam on the inside. Place both sides of the top together, placing the lining with the lining and the main fabric with the main fabric. Once this is finished, turn the top right side out. Pin the lining and the main fabric of the bottom of the top together and serge it again. The last step would be to sew the hem. For this, I recommend using a twin needle. To sew it this way, you need 2 spools of thread of the same color, with 1 thread going through each side of the needle. This needle allows the fabric to stretch without tearing the thread and also leaves a very professional hem. Place the pins so that they can be removed from the outside of the top, since you have to sew on the right side of the garment. As you can see the folded fabric while sewing. And then you are done with the top. This is how it should look finished. Now let's continue with the skirt. First, you have to pin the 2 front pieces on top of the bag. Then sew them together with a straight stitch. For knits and stretch fabrics like this one, I like to use a knit presser foot. This presser foot helps to direct the fabric to create an even finish without puckering the fabric. I will leave detailed videos explaining how to use these tools in the description. Once the 2 parts of the skirt are sewn together, overlock them. This lever is used to stretch or gather the fabric and is very practical when using different types of fabrics. Because if you want the fabric to be flat without waves, you can change the speed of the differential feed of your overlocker. With stretch fabric, you have to increase the value of the differential feed to make the fabric flat. And with non-stretch fabric, it is the other way around. In my case, I set the differential feed on my overlocker to 1.5. When you're finished with this step, serge the sides and the bottom of the skirt and then fold them 1.5 cm inwards. And sew again with a straight stitch. Do the same with the bottom hem. Now pin the 2 side pieces at the top of the skirt, putting the larger fabric on the inside and the smaller one on the outside. And overlock the entire top of the skirt. Fold the fabric and secure it with pins. And the last step would be to hem this part exactly like the top with a twin needle. And that's it. Here you have the result. The good thing about making 2 garments is that you can wear them together or combine them in many different ways. As you can see, they are not difficult to make, since you don't have to add zippers or darts. I don't get bored of wearing it every time I go out to dinner or for a special event. Most people don't believe me when I tell them that I made it myself, as it looks very complicated to make, but I think it only took me about 4 or 5 hours. If you recreate this outfit, I'd love to know if you found it easy to make and also what you would combine it with. I will leave my social media in the description in case you want to send me pictures of the result. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in my next video.